The other thing I wanted to talk about today was this Nickmercs the LGBTQ controversy that was happening. This was a big story, and I was interested in it just because I don't think people understand at all what's going on here. For those of you guys who are unfamiliar, I guess this guy Nickmercs, he is a FaZe Clan member.
Who's up?
Of course. In the words of Asmongold, a bunch of crackheads, which is apt.
FaZe? That's fucked up.
Nick is a Twitch streamer, a YouTuber, and owner of FaZe Clan who plays Fortnite and Warzone. On June 7th, Nickmercs published a tweet in response to a video of a massive brawl taking place outside of a school in Glendale, California. Shout out Los Angeles.
Shout out LA.
The fight was reportedly sparked by a school board meeting discussing the recognition of Pride Month on campus, which was approved by a unanimous decision later that day. And this turned into like a big culture war thing. And then he said, in response to, I guess, a fucking riot, dude, you want to bet that all these psycho MAGA dudes they don't even live here. They don't live here.
I mean, plenty of the people at the protest did, but the instigators and the people leading it, yeah, are like professional provocateurs.
They're here from Orange County.
As we'll see.
This happened 4 blocks from my Overwatch League apartment. Americans are in a sad place right now. Let people live and love and live their own life. And here you can see there's it's pretty violent. Anti-LGBT protesters attack pro-LGBT demonstrators outside of Glendale, California school board meeting, where they recognize June as Pride Month. Now, what level of school? Is this a high school? Is this a middle? Is it an elementary school? What are we talking about?
The meeting was like the board, so it's
the whole district.
The district. Yeah.
Okay. So here is the footage. Like this is, come on now. This is stupid. This is just sad. And I'm telling you, dude, I know who started this shit. Maybe I'm making this assumption, but I don't think it was the Protect Trans Kids guy who started throwing punches. I don't. I just don't.
Oh, I'm telling you.
And then here's their shirts. The one starting the fight, their shirt says, "Leave our kids alone." That's how this whole thing is being framed. Leave our kids alone by recognizing Pride Month, okay? So Nickmercs says they should leave little children alone. That's the real issue. And it got 83,000 likes. People were like, yeah, leave the kids alone. Now, I'm going to explain the problem with this statement and the reason why.
Who could disagree with leave kids alone?
Exactly. On its face, it's like, yeah, leave the kids alone.
Yeah. Pink Floyd said it first.
Damn, you're right. I didn't even think about it like that. So the Glendale School District put out a fact sheet of what they are trying to teach. They have the key points they are trying to discuss. I'll get to that. But Nickmercs, essentially, after this tweet, his skins, or I guess he has some kind of bundle or something in the Modern Warfare 2. So they put out a statement. Due to the recent events, we have removed Nickmercs' operator bundle from Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone store. Activision confirmed on June 8th. I guess these people announced it first. And they said, yeah, we deleted that shit. Now, I'll say this. Oh, here's Gays Against Groomers and that's Ollie London's fucking... Ollie London! Ollie London! Of course he's here. All the man said was leave kids alone. We agree!
Right.
So we got to ask, what's on the hard drive of whoever was behind these decisions? Bitch, what's on your hard drive, Ollie London, you freak? Fuck you. What's on the hard drive? Please, bro. Again,
murder porn.
If you go talk to the murder porn guy, go talk to the local pastor. It's about time we send the pastors out to pasture. I gotta say, my pun game since becoming a dad is really elevated. It really has. This is something every single person should agree with. You are vile, and we hope this bankrupts you. Of course, everybody agrees, but that's not the fucking problem. The problem is the framing of it. Okay, dumbass. These guys are such jokes. Who's actually following this account? Golly.
Ollie London.
They're
Ollie London does.
Ollie London. Ollie London.
Peaky Blinders.
Murder porn.
Okay, so this caused an up. Now, I'll say, maybe it was a little bit of an overreaction. I mean, the guy's an idiot. I think he's an ignoramus.
he responded a day after all the backlash and was like, I stand by what I said. I'm sorry.
He doubled down on it. And also the timing, this is during all these companies big. It's Pride Month. It's Pride Month. You can't do that on Pride Month.
I mean,
would they have dropped the skin if it didn't happen in June? I'm going to go ahead and guess that they probably wouldn't have given a shit.
There may have been people inside the company who were like, yo, fuck this. And, they
it was in June this year.
They care about their employees, and they're like, okay. But they're within their right. Because at the end of the day, I agree that even though it doesn't seem like it, it is a homophobic and a transphobic comment. And the problem is, I know this guy doesn't see himself as being hateful, and that's where a lot of these disconnects come from.
He is a Ron DeSantis supporter, by the way. Not even MAGA. Ron DeSantis, he thinks, is the GOAT, which is so fucking funny to me. Like, the dude that thinks Ron DeSantis...
White Boots? Ron White Boots DeSantis?
Ron White Boots DeSantis is this guy's GOAT.
His feet look like goat feet.
Which really tells you a lot.
Well, regardless, I'm sure that this guy, when he looks at himself in the mirror, he doesn't see a person who's like, I hate gay people, I hate trans people. He thinks he's a reasonable guy. And he knows, I don't hate people. And this is where the problem is. A lot of people have a hard time looking at themselves and saying, what this opinion is doing, the result of this is ignorant, and it's creating hate in the world. I've had that realization with myself. It's not easy to see that because we don't, that's not how we feel when we look in the mirror. We all think, hey, we're decent people. We do our best to be nice, be good humans. But it's important to be critical about how we're interacting with things. So here he is. He says, by the way, it is interesting too, of a bunch of like protesters getting the shit beat out of them by like MAGA freaks. They should leave the kids alone. That's the real issue. Okay. So look back to the doc here. Let's take a look first at the fact sheet that Glendale School District put out.
So they put this out in response to the fact that in all of these like psycho parent groups that were getting all upset, a bunch of memes and false information about what was being taught at the school was going around. So they just wanted to clarify, this is actually what we're talking about when we're having this discussion.
So here's the key points. Glendale School District has a process for selecting your curriculum and instructional materials. We intentionally include diverse voices and lessons in our curriculum, supplemental materials, yada, 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 to understand diversity of peers. Elementary curriculum related to diversity, including LGBT plus issues, is focused on highlighting all different types of families. Elementary curriculum does not include specific information about gender or LGBT or gender identity.
Just basically saying some people have two dads.
Which
that's normal.
I guarantee you there are people at that school that have gay parents.
I'm gay. Actually, I'm not.
And there's also people at these schools who are questioning their own sexuality and their own gender identity. Administrators and teachers are trusted to use professional judgment when deciding if a particular topic is suitable. Yada, yada, yada. Key points. Grade 5, development and maturation. Focuses on body changes that occur during puberty. Boys and girls are separated into two different rooms and shown a 16 to 20-minute video, typically by the school nurse. Some schools provide a video link to parents to show at home in lieu of watching the video at school. Grade 7 and 9.
So that literally, correct me if I'm wrong, I didn't go to the Glendale School District. I went to LAUSD. But that policy has existed at least since I was in the 5th grade because I had that class in 5th grade. I remember that, the first like sex ed class in 5th grade.
I was in 5th grade in Michigan and I watched my
so
first
this is
sex ed.
literally just standard fucking shit.
Amazing.
But I don't know if that's the part they're protesting. They say grade 7 and 9 sex education instructions.
This is grooming to them now.
Is that what they're saying? I know they're just, they don't like them
And the fact that they acknowledge that gay people exist, that's grooming too. I mean, the reality is they're getting mad about things that aren't really happening, and that's why I think it's useful to look at this and see what this conversation is actually about, because I would really invite Nickmercs or whatever to read through this and specifically say what the problem is.
Well, okay, so let's see. Gender identity and pronouns. This is the new stuff that wasn't there when I was in school. This is probably something they have a problem with, these protesters. Glendale School District policies follow the law and require the signature of parents or guardians before a official school record is changed. Since 2013, state laws mandated that students have a right to ask to be referred by a name or pronoun that might be different than what's on their official record. A school may not question the student's asserted gender identity. Disclosing a student is transgender without the student's permission may violate California anti-discrimination law. A school must protect children from being teased for failing to conform to sex stereotypes, including being deliberately referred to by the name and or pronouns associated with the student's assigned sex birth. I mean, this is clearly designed to protect students. I don't see what could possibly be bad about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, so this is what they're freaking out about.
Well, the last part, it's probably something they're freaking out about too. It's the locker room stuff and like bathrooms and everything, which obviously is a big thing. But if you actually read what they say, I think it's completely fucking reasonable.
California law requires that students shall have access to restrooms and locker rooms that correspond to their gender identity. All Glendale School District locker rooms are equipped with private changing facilities for any student who wishes to use them. No student is ever forced to disrobe or change clothes in front of any other students. Great. Private room.
Again, it's like if anybody actually just looked at what the conversation actually was. I mean, obviously some people would still have a problem with it, but when it's just this vague, oh, they're grooming these kids. And it's like, just look at what we're actually talking about here. No, like, who has a problem with this?
Mm-hmm. So here's what I'll say. This is why I think these kinds of statements are fucked up. They should leave the children alone. That's the real issue. There's a context there that is implying that they are coming for children. Who's coming for children? Gay advocates, trans people,
just gay
LGBT.
People in general?
They're coming for children. It's part of an agenda of them to force some ideology on them. Now, what this narrative does, it's like the front door of homophobia and transphobia. This is like the gateway. Once you're willing to accept this premise that there is a group of people who are trying to push their ideas onto children, then you're willing to believe almost anything at that point about trans people and gay people, that they're groomers, that they're all pedophiles. You hear that? It's outrageous. And so this claim that they should leave children alone, it's directly going to cause a ton of transphobia and homophobia. Now, here's where this becomes so silly. Now, they're saying June is Pride Month. They're recognizing that in the school district. There's a Black History Month that schools recognize. Is that indoctrinating? Do we need to leave the children alone when it comes to Black History Month?
Well, a lot of these people probably would say yes to that too, because that's critical race theory. That's woke.
There would be a lot less people who would be comfortable saying that.
For sure. But you're right to draw the parallel there.
And then I think what they would say is, well, Black history doesn't have anything to do with sexualization. And I would say neither does Pride Month. It is about a marginalized group that historically has been through a whole bunch of fucking shit. And it's about recognizing them and normalizing it in the sense that they're not looked as outsiders or weirdos or freaks, so that 30 to 50% of trans kids aren't attempting to commit suicide, because that is definitely the societal pressure that makes them feel like freaks. There's a lot, like this argument could be extended to a lot of things. They should leave the children alone. I mean, you can make that argument about almost anything in the curriculum. There's no consistency about it. The truth is that they just don't like gay people. They don't like trans people. And this is how it's manifested, even if they're aware of it or if they're not. This is the result of this. Because, that's what school is. What do you mean, leave the children alone? What do you want them to do?
Just it's all indoctrination, right? We don't have any problem indoctrinating them into like American history or, ideology, capitalism.
That's school. We trust our educators.
Listen,
education, it's established discipline. People study it. They get master's degrees in it. We trust the professionals to educate our kids. So when you say leave the little kids alone, you're saying essentially, if you work it out all the way, you want them to just go sit there and stare at the wall, because everything they teaching them is from some kind of fucking perspective. So what does it mean, leave the children alone? What does it mean ultimately at the end of the day?
Also, I think I think we skipped down the fact sheet before we got to the specific point, but the one part that like somebody that, you know, is very socially conservative would maybe take issue with is those conversations are for me to have with my kid, not to be taught by a teacher. Well, but listen, it says in the policy, and I remember this being the case too, when we had the sex ed class or whatever, I had to get what do you call it? Permission from my parents, and they say in the thing.
Me too. But again,
so you can opt out. You don't have to have them in that class.
Listen, even that is homophobic and transphobic because learning about LGBTQ rights isn't sexual. It's the same as any other marginalized groups. Same about hearing about Native American discrimination and genocide. It's the same as learning about African American history. It's the same about learning about Chinese people who are second-class citizens. It's the same about Japanese people who put in internment camp. Are all these indoctrinating? The only reason you're singling this one out is because you're homophobic and you're transphobic. That is the only reason. That's it. And so it seems like an innocent statement. And you might look at that on face value and say, yeah, of course, that's so obvious. Leave the children alone. That's so obvious. Who would have disagreed with that? But the truth is, it's fucked up. It's super fucked up. And it's a gateway, and it's it's lightly veiled, maybe heavily veiled homophobia, transphobia, because on the face, it looks reasonable. But when you analyze it, it has no merit, none at all. It's silly bullshit. And it's gross, man. You know, back when there was less people caring about this shit. I feel like when I was a kid than there is now. All of a sudden, like, homophobia is back, baby. It's fucked up, man. It's absolutely mental. What's going on here?
I think it just is because it was very much present when we were kids. I think, weirdly, it's the fact that more people are more accepting of it that's raised, like, the viciousness of it. And like the spilling out into violence, because there was, people were definitely, I think, on the whole, much more homophobic when I was growing up than they are now. Yeah. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but because there are more people willing to push back, it's also causing the reactionaries to become much more adamant and violent about their bigotry.
I guess you see the same thing when African Americans got more rights. You see the put and more acceptance.
Right.
You see the pushback from
the pushback more.
The death
it's the rubber band.
Exactly. Freaks. And as gay people got the federal right to marry, then I guess the extremists are coming out of the woodwork. But it's disturbing to see mainstream people. They don't realize. Maybe he doesn't realize what he's saying or what he's doing. Because then so Nickmercs started this. And then a ton of people started to come out to back him up. Here's a Dr. Disrespect, uninstalled Call of Duty for his buddy Nickmercs.
The gamers are rising up, dude.
Dr. Disrespect has uninstalled Call of Duty. He says unless they apologize and reinstate bundle, he won't be playing the game.
Number one.
Like, I get that you want to stick up for your friend, and maybe it's true they overreacted. That I would be willing to debate. But you can't uncritically analyze what he said, because ultimately, by normalizing what he said to your horde of young audience, you are giving credibility to this homophobic, transphobic argument that teaching pride, a marginalized group, is inherently indoctrination. That's fucking insane. Here.
Is uninstall the game.
No.
Number one.
Dork.
I mean, don't get a mistaken. This year's Call of Duty is the worst in its franchise.
All the ever.
But that decision by COD's PR marketing team.
Gamers rise up. You can always count on gamers to make the worst possible.
Doesn't he also think that
right
5G cell phone signals give you COVID or something?
I don't know if that's a joke or not. I never know.
Man.
I think he might actually be serious about some of that stuff.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one to digest for the two-time.
What's the rock that he's always? Ian would know. What's he always talking about?
Shungite. That's not serious, is it, Ian?
Who
knows, right?
You don't know?
I think it might be serious.
That's what I thought.
Wait, what?
I think it's kind of serious.
Sure, no.
Fresh Baguette said.
Ian knows a lot more about the doc lore than I do.
No, I agree. If he says it's serious, I agree. Fresh Baguette says, leave our kids alone implies that all kids are cis and straight. As someone who was gay kid in 5th grade, I felt like there was something really wrong with me since there was no talk of gay people. Exactly. You need to embrace and explain the diversity that we experience. Otherwise, you are hurting kids. And again, you guys got to grapple with this stat, which is so alarming. 30 to 50% of transgender kids attempt suicide. I mean, what the fuck? That's it. Come on. That's just like unacceptable.
I feel like they either
Also,
need to
just
apologize.
really crazy that conservatives hear pride and all they think is sex. Like, what are you talking about? It's people just love each other, and fucking straight couples have sex too. When kids read books about a mom and dad, they're not like, oh shit, like I'm teaching my kid about having sex. But if it's a dad and a dad, it's like, oh, they're having sex.
They're having gay sex. Gross. They want our kids to have gay sex.
Yeah, what the fuck?
No, it's demented. It's demented. That's why I compare it to Black History Month.
It's so
It's a
perverted.
marginalized group that we, as a society, need to come to terms with and understand so that we can have a more prosperous and peaceful and understanding society. Dr. Disrespectful is more respectful to his homies than his wife, says Avery, and that's a pretty good point.
Also, somebody in the chat pointed out that he got in some legal trouble for filming a bunch of people in a bathroom.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Kind of groomer behavior.
Well, if we're obsessing over trans in bathrooms,
Kind of weird.
I mean,
Kind of weird to walk into a bathroom with a camera and just start filming a bunch of
yeah, I'm gonna
underage
agree
people.
with you. I'm gonna agree with you there.
Or reinstate his bundle in order for me to consider playing Call of Duty again. That's where I'm at. We just don't.
And for them, this is like easy virtue signaling because most of these kids don't understand. It's just the easiest fucking virtue signal in the world.
And whenever the new Call, like, there's 0% chance that when the new Call of Duty comes out, these guys aren't playing.
True. TimTheTatman. I think I'm Twitter friends with this guy.
Sounds familiar. I feel like he's come up on the show before.
He streams a lot with Ninja.
So here's the thing.
Drama with him like
I
years
asked
ago.
him. I asked him something about BBTV. I think during that whole thing. I think we do follow each other. So listen, it's not personal, but I've explained, I think, pretty in depth about what my problem is here. He says Nickmercs has been my friend for years. He went in getting our COD operators together. It feels wrong for me to have mine and him no longer have his. In support of my friend, please remove the TimTheTatman bundle. Okay, it's more solidarity with this friend, but 250,000 likes. Yo, erase my shit, bro. They probably didn't even erase it. This is not. If he really wanted to, he would have to send them a legal letter or something. This tweet.
I think they did erase it.
They did.
without
Okay.
doing it. I think so. But also, I feel like this is telling. Maybe they didn't make very much money from the skin. So they're like, we can sound good, but also don't lose that much money.
Well, they're
Maybe
probably
they do.
old. I mean, I can't imagine people
Yeah, exactly.
buying it still.
Yeah.
I mean, if you care, return the money or donate it to.
Right. That
donate
would
it to the Kenneth Copeland Fund.
Yeah.
Prove
Yeah.
that you really hate trans people.
It was
Yeah.
removed yesterday. Tim's bundle.
Hallelujah.
So I don't know. Again, he's supporting his friend, but he's not being critically examining what's happening here. This is just like absolute virtue signaling of the highest order. 250,000 likes. Here's a top comment. Is interesting. Do these guys have no idea it's Pride Month? The lack of empathy and self-awareness would be hilarious if it weren't so sad these people had such big platforms. They don't. Yeah. Here's Trainwreck, my boy. My boy Trainwreck's in the comments. W. Fuck cancel culture.
Oh my God.
If
Get with the cancel culture. What are you talking about, Trainwreck?
W.
That's like 2 years
Call of
ago,
Duty,
bro.
W.
Get with
He
the
was
time.
canceled 2 years ago. He's like, damn, fuck, it's still happening.
Get with the fucking. We've already decided cancel culture is good now. We're canceling Bud Light. We're canceling Target. We're canceling all kinds of shit.
If cancel
They're
culture was
canceling Call
real,
of Duty.
you wouldn't have a career, brother.
Yeah, they're canceling Call of Duty.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
W.
If the part of the internet that's going on after Merks were the good guys, quote, they teach and be patient even if their teachings are being questioned. That is what I'm doing. I mean, I'm willing to say that it may have been an overreaction for them to do it. The vocal minority who pretend that they are fighting for equality are just virtue signaling for clout. What they are doing here with this situation only sends people further down the rabbit hole and divides by putting people into an angry state, void of logic and understanding. Political leaders and viewers coming after him know this and use these movements for their own gain, power, and advertisement. Yeah, I hear that a lot. The only reason you could ever criticize him is you know you're wrong. You know you're wrong. Trainwreck, you are like the biggest piece of shit in the fucking world. You literally, how many people's lives have you ruined directly and profited off of? Like, shut your fucking mouth about any social issue, dude. You have no ground to stand on. Like, I would not be surprised if literally suicides were a fucking result of what you've been putting out in the world. Gambling, which is the deadliest vice. Like, you have no bro, shut the fuck up. Talk about
in order to
virtue
comprehend,
signaling.
you're gonna have to break some.
I'm break the fucking like
comprehend.
This guy has like the thinnest possible ground to stand on any moral or social issue. Give me a break. Co-owner of Kick.com.
Those eggshells.
Wasn't he pretending like he wasn't an owner?
Yeah, definitely remember him saying, "I'm not an owner."
He says, "I just have advisory shares." Now he's co-owner of Kick.com. You are such a shady liar, loser, zero fucking accountability. You are such a loser, man. It's actually incredible.
W.
Chat asks, "Are we really surprised that COD players are homophobic?" Yeah, again, that's the game. We're having a gamer moment here for sure.
Yes.
But there it is. I try to break that down in a sense because I don't think people understand why what he said is fucked up. So I'm endeavoring to explain it.
Those eggshells.
I'm sure they will not listen. In fact, I'm positive. But
Also,
I would talk.
these are not.
I do feel like
these are not. Sorry.
You go ahead.
I'm on delay. Okay, I was gonna say these are not your typical gamers either. These are like fucking grown-up millionaires with kids, with families. These are not your average fucking 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old edgy teenager. These are like grown-ass men, bro.
Yeah, 30s.
Like, yeah.
Weird.
FaZe Rain is in the comments. No, that's fucked up. Oh shit. Well, you know FaZe Rain knows what's fucked up and what isn't.
Nah, that's fucked up.
Yo, he wrote that?
Nah.
It's so funny to me that they talk about virtue signaling, and here they are with the easiest fucking signal.
Yeah, which again, none of them are not going to play Call of Duty.
That's virtue signaling.
It's completely like you're all going to play the new Call of Duty when it comes out. Guaranteed. 100%.
Trainwreck comes in. Now let me tell you why this is wrong. You literally live in an ivory tower. Like, have you seen where he lives? It's like the top floor with a panoramic
Yeah, I
view.
remember.
It's like you live in an ivory tower built on the souls of children you've harvested. Let me tell you why this is morally wrong. Shut the fuck up, dude. Dumbass. Fousey tube. No, not Fousey. No.
I feel this.
Hold on. This might be personal to Fousey, Zach.
Jeez.
He is a member, I think, of the...
I felt worthless.
Of the community?
I felt ugly.
Well, he felt like he was.
Go ahead.
I felt gay.
That was good. That was the new one. This is such bullshit, Fousey says. Didn't he just say keep the kids out of this? Again, yes, I've gone to great lengths to explain why that's fucked up, and I hope everyone understands. They literally want us programmed to only say what fits the agenda. Again, the gay agenda? What agenda?
That's the
the gay agenda. That's
why
like the Jewish agenda. It's literally it's as bad.
That's why I felt it was so important to pull up that document that actually shows what is, what the policy that everybody, because none of these people, including Nickmercs, and then it only gets further removed the further down the chain of these people, even know what the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's just like
That's why it's such a fucked up statement.
Yeah.
And if from someone so influential, it's the gateway. Now it trickles down, and people are like, dude, what is wrong with this gay agenda? And
Teaching
everybody,
the same sex ed classes that they've been teaching for 25 years.
And by the way,
at least,
just to show you what's virtue signaling bullshit this is, I guarantee you this is his most liked tweet in like months. Fact check that.
Who? Fousey?
Fousey, yeah. Everybody's getting like their fattest Twitter dub by saying like gay agenda. Grace Van Deen coming with a W though. Phase Grace. It would be nice to have it available, presented, discussed in schools for kids that don't have open-minded parents. Shut the fuck up. Get out of here with that
Big
gay
gamer.
agenda.
Big gamer.
Yeah, that's not a
Gamer girl. Gamer girl alert.
That is not a gamer opinion. I would 100% love to have a conversation with TimTheTatman or, well, I don't know what's his opinion. He's just backing up his friend. Or Nickmercs. Because I do feel like if we had a conversation and I explained why what he said is fucked up.
Yeah. You could go point by point through that document and just be like, which parts of this is a problem for you?
He would be forced to confront what, in my opinion, is obviously inconsistent. So if he wants to, I'd love to talk to him. You know what I mean? He's open for that.
Based on what I'm seeing, you are correct. That is Fousey's most liked tweet by far.
There you
Even
go.
his pinned tweet about being sober for a year does not
No one
have
cares.
even half
Sober
of
for a
that.
year, nobody cares.
Wait. How many likes?
Ganging up on gay people?
How much likes does
Hell
the
yeah.
solo, the sober one have?
The sober one has 3,800 likes.
Worthless.
And how much does his gay agenda one have?
That is over 9,000.
You see,
over 9,000.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This
Sure, yeah.
is the height of virtue signaling.
We are here.
He just needs
for
to tweet about you
vibes.
next, and then he'll be back. He'll be back on top.
Mm-hmm.
Vibes.
Like that tells me a lot. That tells me a lot. Ollie London's in the comments being like, "Yeah, I support you." That's how you know you fucked up.
I
I see people in the chat suggesting why don't they teach trick shots in school? That's a good
Okay.
point.
That's
Yeah.
interesting curriculum.
Yeah. Or how to
Maybe
buy a Lambo cash.
Grace wouldn't.
Maybe that's a
embarrass
way to
herself.
kind of bridge the gap, you know, like a compromise in a way. Like we won't compromise on teaching, you know, that gay people exist in school, but like if we dedicated 45 minutes a day to like, you know, sick 360 no scope tutorials, then maybe it wouldn't be such a big deal, you know?
Maybe not Call of Duty, but maybe just guns in general. Maybe if there's,
Oh,
you know, focus
interesting.
on that.
Right.
Yeah.
I
feel
do think it would be cool if we could do trick shots IRL.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because
Like with
doing it in
guns.
a video game is kind of poser shit.
I got
it's a
you.
little gay.
I got
Right.
you. Don't worry.
Trick
got-
shots in IRL.
Ready?
You gonna shoot us? What are you
Everybody
doing?
at home, join in.
Oh.
Cam's coming. Oh shit.
Yo!
Wasted.
That was
Wasted.
fucking sick.
MLG is fuck.
Wasted.
So that's it. Yeah, let's reach out to him. Maybe he's down to have a conversation. It'd be great. Nickmercs.
Maybe.
Why? What could be bad about it?
No, I don't have any opposition to talking to him. I just don't necessarily think that he would want
Oh,
to
yeah,
talk
I don't-
to you
No, yeah.
because you're fucking libtard fat loser
Part of the
with an
gay
ugly wife.
agenda. I'm part of the gay and Jewish agenda.
Right.
Yeah, but let's reach out. I mean, why not? Maybe he's down to have a conversation, and I think it could be really productive. And maybe he'll convince me that maybe there is a gay agenda. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? I'm open-minded. Maybe
That's good.
Maybe he's right. You know, maybe there are kitty boxes in
Right,
public
yeah,
schools
yeah,
where kitty folks can take a shit.
All right, we are at 3.5 hours.
Since the controversy, Nickmercs, of course, is growing
no, we don't.
rapidly on Twitter. People love our boy. Yes.
He's up.
He's the man.
He's up.
He's up.
He's
Leave
up.
the kids alone. Why won't they leave them alone? The gay agenda.
Man's got a thick neck.
Yep.
Got a neck agenda. Leave my kids alone with that neck agenda.
Kissed his old nasty pig stinking neck.
But here's the thing. And again, Nick, if you're seeing this, I don't think you're like, that's what I'm saying. When you look in the mirror, you don't see a hateful person. You're probably a really nice guy. The people in your life, the people around you, they go, yeah, he's a great guy. I'm a nice guy. That's part of what's so difficult about this, right? It's so hard to see through the veil that you're doing something that is having a negative effect on people. But I would love to talk to you.
People in the chat are saying that Hassan took a crack at that. And
he took a crack at what?
Talking to Nickmercs. I guess he talked to him.
Oh, he did? How'd that go?
From what I'm gathering in the chat, it sounds like it wasn't publicly. Like he talked to him in DMs or something. And he was not able to
That's not the
break
same.
through.
I don't think
it's not the
DM
same
conversation.
I could be misunderstanding that though. So let me know, chat.
Let's reach
if you
out.
had him on stream or something.
Yeah, let's reach out.
But yeah,
Maybe he wants to have a combo. TimTheTatman, again, nothing personal. And again, you were just backing your homie up, so I don't even think it's necessarily something you would even...
Why did TimTheTatman? What was... I'm talking years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. We had some drama. Was he in drama with like one of the Paul brothers or something?
Let's check the Reddit.
You know what I'm talking about, Ian?
Not ringing a bell.
No?
You think of Tim the Toolman? Taylor, maybe?
Maybe it was another like phase dude with a T name.
How do you reach out to this guy, Olivia? What's your process?
I'll either look for their booking agent info, or if they're a content creator, I'll usually reach out via the Instagram for the pod.
Oh, that's smart. You can also tweet at them from the pod.
Ooh, I've never done that. I'll do that.
Yeah, that's good that you can do that. He actually has been popping off, I guess, on Twitter. What is it? Nickmercs?
Mm-hmm.
Phase up! Gay agenda down. Phase up.
Blanks.
Here he tweeted 180,000 likes. Friends are created in good times, but families, they're built through adversity.
Family.
That's some Fast and Furious shit, if I've ever read it. Appreciate all of you having my back, understanding my position as a new father. Yeah, as a new father, I don't want my son hearing about that gay shit. And recognize the love I have for all. No hate, again, no hate in this heart. I agree. You know, I agree that...
He hit us with the peace and love?
Wait, what, bro?
Whoa. Yeah.
P&L?
P&L? That's...
Family?
What the fuck, dude?
If that takes off, if this P&L thing takes off, we can, in my opinion, single-handedly take credit for this cultural phenomenon. I was watching Dave Pacman yesterday, and he said, with peace and love...
Interesting.
Yeah. Definitely not the guy from the Beatles.
Yeah, I mean, Ringo did start it.
Yeah, no, I think you could sue for this.
Peace and love.
You could.
You know what I mean, AB.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, I know. It's just a very common phrase.
It was a Stern thing
What?
too, wasn't
Was it?
Yeah, and also, didn't you get it from Stern?
Dude, nobody's...
Howard's been talking about it since
Dude,
like
nobody's
2007.
fucking...
Everybody's been talking about peace and love forever now.
That's such bullshit. People on YouTube are not doing peace and love.
That's
on
true.
YouTube specifically.
Just younger people, the world in general.
My grandfather was wearing a shirt that said peace and love. Maybe he was from the future.
Yeah.
No, but the
In the
usage
60s.
Maybe I'm like
of
John
with
Connor.
peace
Back
and
in the
love.
1960s, a lot
Yo.
of people
P and
would say
L.
peace
I'm
and
sorry.
love.
No, you guys are fucking with me. Shit, forgot to update y'all. My B shooting a commercial today. Bad bitch shit. Won't be live. Okay, whatever. Big B for tomorrow. Dog, you put that neck away.
It's dangerous.
Making me insecure.
I'm being groomed right now.
Okay, there it is. 1,800. 2,600. 3,600. Now he's getting like 200,000 likes. Gay agenda. Y'all heard about this gay agenda? Oh. But don't even get me started on the Jewish agenda. That's right. Oh, did I mention the Christian, the evangelical agenda? You know the group of people that just lobbied and fucking like planted the Supreme Court to make abortion illegal across the whole fucking country? They have an agenda. No.
Y'all don't even want to hear about this Muslim agenda we got.
Would it be inappropriate if...
Yep.
So that's the show.
That's it.
You know who should really leave the kids alone?
Who?
fucking military recruiters at high schools.
Groomers, the actual
fucking
groomers.
weirdos, dude.
Literally the actual groomers.
You're trying to take my kids and kill them, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, and for what? Like for $30,000 a year.
Right.
That's true. You want to talk about grooming?
They don't even work for the fucking school, dude.
And then they come home with black lung cancer from burn pits and
Literally.
trauma from fucking killing villagers.
Keep
And
our
then-
kids safe.
And then they end up living on the street where people can come back and tell them what piece of shit lowlifes they are. It's awesome. New Ela vlog's out, by the way.
Let's go.
The 35-year-old recruiter. No plans after school? Haha, that's a shame. You act so mature for your age. What's your malfunction, soldier? Do your parents know about the benefits you get from serving? Wow, I would have never guessed you were that young. Haha. No, don't go to college first. You're so strong and poor, though. You're spending so much time with your friends. You should spend that time in the Middle East. That sucks. You grew up without a dad. Haha.